Welcome back, friends, to the Castro Valley News live show. We are currently in episode 24. And if you're new to this is the interactive live show that we do just about every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. It's kind of a new thing where we are allowed to do kind of a radio live show here and interact with you guys on Facebook. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, confessions, go ahead and post them on the thread, and we'll talk about the things that you have on your mind that are going on in the world and in Castro Valley. Before that, I'd like to let you know that Habitat for Humanity are doing a really cool thing here at the Restore in Oakland. And if you are ready to get rid of your old mattress, recycle it at the Habitat for Humanity Restore in Oakland. And what they're doing is every mattress dropped off receives $3 cash or $5 in-store credit. And the mattress that you bring in gets recycled with Bye Bye Mattress, and the materials get turned into hundreds of new products. In return, you can use your cash or in-store credit towards any number of household items and support Habitat for Humanity's mission to build affordable housing in the Bay Area. Limits do apply. Visit BayAreaRestores.org for full details. And Restore Oakland is located at 9235 San Leandro Street. And of course, it's in Oakland. Their phone number is 510-777-1447. And they are open Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the Restore in Oakland it's kind of like a secondhand store. Reuse stuff, things that have been donated. It's a really cool store. Check it out. And also, definitely, if you have a mattress that you're looking to get rid of, please don't dump it on the corner like I know a lot of us see in the community. Bring it over to the Restore, and you can get $3 cash, $5 in-store credit for some new stuff that you might be interested in. And again, the Restore is located at 9235 San Leandro Street, Oakland, California. Of course, California. Phone number 510-777-1447. And I've got a list here of some things that I wanted to bring to your attention. But before I do that, again, let me remind you guys, if you have comments, questions, things that are happening in Castro Valley that you would like to bring up, go ahead and post them in the comments, or if you prefer, you can give me a call or text. The number here is 510-331-9112. Whatever means you're more comfortable with is fine with us. If you want to call or text, the number is 510-331-9112. 331-9112. Call or text, either are acceptable and appreciated. Or again, if you want to post something in the comments, go for it. If there's something something in our town happening that's on your mind, or globally, locally, Bay Area issues, concerns, comments, what is on your mind, Castro Valley? Let me know. Let's talk about it. Without further ado, something that I wanted to bring to your attention is if you're looking for a job, Pete's Ace Hardware is hiring. And it looks to me like they're hiring cashiers, full-time cashiers. I'm not seeing any starting pay on their post here, but you can go into the store, and we all know where Pete's Hardware is, 2569 Castro Valley Boulevard, and apply. I think if you go to their website or their Facebook page, I think there's a way that you can apply there as well. I'm not sure, but I think I saw something on. I think I saw a button that you could push where you could apply on their Facebook page. But Pete's has been around in Castro Valley for almost forever. They've been here for a long time. Very good people. It's Linda Rourke and Jeff and their son Jason, and family owned forever. Great folks. They do a lot of things in the community behind the scenes to enhance and enrich our community. But with that said, they are hiring for cashiers. You can go into the store and inquire with their staff how to apply, or you can just go to Pete's Ace Hardware. They have a Facebook page. There's a link I think you can follow where you can apply online. But again, they're hiring for cashiers. If you are looking for a job, Pete's Ace Hardware is hiring. Since we're talking about applications as well, the tiny homes at First Presbyterian Church in Hayward, they have, I believe it's 6 tiny homes on the church, in the church parking lot, kind of facing the rear of Trader Joe's, and it's a cool program that they started. I think they opened in February, but they've the process has been going on going on for a while, where their application went before the MAC, I think 3 or 4 times, maybe even more. But like I said, the tiny homes have been on the site and open with their local homeless folks who are employed, and they're allowed to live in these homes, and the tenants put money into a fund. It's not really rent, but it's kind of in the respect that it's money expected to be put in this account every month. And at the end of the duration, when these people reach a point where they leave, the money goes back to them, and it can be used towards finding long-term housing. So of the units that they have, the church has 2 of them open. And if you go to the First Pres Hayward Facebook page, we will share, in addition to that, we'll share a link to their Facebook page in the comments. You can apply. If you know someone who is homeless but employed, encourage them to apply. And someone, we shared this information last night, and someone had mentioned that it should be available to veterans first, and it is available to veterans. So if you know a veteran or someone who is homeless looking for a temporary place to live, and these tiny homes don't let the name fool you. They've got everything. They've got a bathroom. They've got a kitchen. Think of it as a studio apartment. Not as big, but these units that First Presbyterian has put together on the church lot. This is a cool program. And anyways, without me rambling even further, you can go to www.firstpreshayward.com/tiny homes to apply. Like I said, we will post the link to their Facebook page in the comments, or you can just look on our page. The post went up last night, I believe. You can also go to the church office. They're located at 2490 Grove Way. They are directly to the rear of Trader Joe's. Again, if you know someone who is homeless, if you are homeless, or if you know a veteran who is in need of housing, this is a program that's right here in our backyard that is cool. You know, we all know we have a I don't want to say a homeless. We have a huge situation across the Bay Area, in Castro Valley, across the nation, gosh, of people facing increasingly difficult challenges finding housing or maintaining housing, especially with with the pandemic, um, and a lot of people who have been laid off. This program actually, they broke ground in February, before the pandemic broke out. But Pastor Jake and Shizu, the staff over at First Pres, great folks. They care about the community deeply, and I'm not trying to advocate for any church, or I'm not trying to boost the signal of religion in any way. But these folks at First Pres really stepped up to the plate and put in a lot of hours in getting this program going. And already two people have found permanent housing and utilized the assistance that this program has for people, and they found permanent housing, and I think that's fantastic. It is obviously helping people, which is cool. So again, First Presbyterian Church, uh, they call it First Presbyterian Church Hayward, but they're here in Castro Valley, like I said, on Grove. You can check out their website. You can check out their Facebook page. If you know anyone who is employed and facing challenges with housing, refer them to this program. It is definitely a help for people who are looking for long-term housing. And another thing that is happening, and I know, well, it was shared on the page a while ago. Spanky's Bar, the property's been sold, and gosh, I think this was a couple years ago. There was a lot of community interests and a lot of buzz and a lot of people talking about wanting a brew pub here in Castro Valley. And it kind of seems like the old carry outy spot would be ideal, but from what I've heard and seen, that building has uh, quite a few challenges, for the lack of a better term. But getting back to Spanky's, the property has been sold, and what's happening now is a company, I don't want to say a company. I think it's a family-owned place. It's called Beer Baron, and I've never been to one. But when we posted this news a while ago that Beer Baron was coming to Castro Valley, a lot of people were excited. And looking at their page, they're a brew pub, and they have a fairly decent reputation of being good and having good stuff. So, hey, especially in this day and time where it's increasingly difficult to keep your business open with the shelter in place and all the situations surrounding the pandemic, I think it's awesome that the Beer Baron are going to be coming to Castro Valley. It goes without saying that some external improvements to that building will hopefully be coming. It's kind of a blue-gray kind of I'm trying to not say anything bad, but it's a building that could definitely use some improvement. And from what I'm thinking and hearing, I'm hoping that Beer Baron will be doing that because their other locations look pretty darn good. And like I said, from the significant amount of comments, 270 of them and 154 shares when we put this out, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. A lot of people are excited for Beer Baron to come to Castro Valley. And like I said, from what it looks like, it is the brew pub that Castro Valley has wanted. Before the marketplace situation happened at the Daughtry's building, there was a lot of people commenting and messaging in saying that can we get gosh, people were saying that they wanted to reach out to Buffalo Bills to see if they wanted to uh, buy the building and bring in a brew pub there, which would have been a cool location. I think it's equally as cool, if not more cool, that we've got the marketplace at that location. From what I understand, they're still working on some of the other features inside, but the grocery store, the Castro Valley Natural Grocery, I hope I said that right. I don't think I did. They are rocking and rolling. They're doing it. The building is vastly improved. The inside looks great. I know I say this every week. They've uh, they've really improved the interior there. It just looks it looks nice. It's been a long road for Castro Valley, in particular, having that big white eyesore, the big white elephant in the center of our downtown being empty. I know we had Spirit yearly, and we had I think there was a one year there was a Disney outlet store there or something, or a Disney clearance store there for one year. They came out of nowhere with that, but it has been uh, that eyesore at our downtown for years and years and years. Ever since I was with the forum, I know it was a lot of it was a thorn in the side of a lot of people in our town, and it looks great now. They're rocking and rolling, like I said, and they're working on getting the extra spots together, and wish them all of the best. Also, kind of in the same block on the boulevard is the Dollar Tree that's open, and they are packed. Um, I don't know what else to say. It's Dollar Tree. The doors I keep opening and closing with people coming in and going out, armfuls of bags. I know there's kind of differing viewpoints on the Dollar Tree, and I think we've talked about this every week for the past few weeks. Um, got nothing against Dollar Tree. You can save money there. You can buy really, I mean, they have a lot of stuff. And I said this very same thing last week. I don't want this to turn into a commercial for Dollar Tree, but um, one less vacant building on Castro Valley Boulevard. And if you're not familiar geographically with where this is, it's where Dana's Party Planet used to be on the boulevard. Kind of catty corner to, I think Rita's Ice is right there. And Dana's Party Planet moved into the village. They are a couple doors away from Starbucks. And from what I understand, they are open if you want to support them. I, I don't think, I think like many other businesses, they're probably having tough times. Um, but Dana's Party Planet, good people. They've been around for a long time in Castro Valley. I think this is their third location. Their original location was where Connolly's is now on Redwood, catty corner to Safeway. And we need a ticker for how many times I say catty corner. I think that's the second or third time. And also, Connolly's is closing. Um, I don't think they've been there too long. I think it's maybe 2 years now. I guess this, like um, a couple other businesses in Castro Valley and lots of other businesses that we're seeing everywhere. It's an uphill battle for businesses to stay open and maintain open when we've got the shelter in place and a lot of these businesses are just closed. Um, I did see there are actually a couple places. There's a nail place and there's a massage place in the Adobe Center that are doing things outside, like our new shelter in place. The updated shelter in place regulations have permitted some of those businesses to do to conduct business outside. I also saw a hair salon up in not a hair salon, it's a haircut place up in 580 Marketplace. They had their chairs outside, and they were doing haircuts, and boy were they busy. So with that said, welcome beer. That was a little bit of a tongue twister there. Welcome, Baron. I did it again. Welcome, Beer Baron, to Castro Valley. Looking forward to seeing some improvements at the old Spankies, and looking forward to trying your food. I know we're gonna have we'll have Chef Igor check out the Beer Baron as soon as we can. And Don is mentioning Ono Hawaiian opened last Friday, and we mentioned that last week. They're doing takeout. Wishing them the best. If you're not familiar with where Ono Hawaiian is, they are next to Ramen 101, and I think Ramen 101 is doing takeout too. And I mention this every week, and I want to mention it again. Um, it is fantastic to see our restaurants busy with people. Doug's Place in the morning, they're doing the outside dining. They're busy. JP's is killing it. There's a lot of people outside JP's, and it's good because they're good people. They have good food. Um, Norman's Grill is feeding doing the outdoor dining thing as well. Doing takeout. Southern Comfort, they're doing takeout as well. I know I'm probably forgetting some other businesses that are doing takeout. Wen's Cafe is doing takeout. These people are our neighbors, and they are They're just. I know all of the. I know a major. I know many of the owners of these businesses, and they are great people. They live in our communities, and they are very deserving of our support, especially at this time right now where it seems like everything is upside down. And yeah, thank you guys for really stepping up and supporting our local businesses. It's evident in, like I said, how these restaurants, their outdoor dining areas are just they're full of people, and it's great. Thank you guys so much for that. Um, One more thing I wanted to mention, and this is really super awesome. It's another example of how just awesome you guys are. There was a post that went out earlier today um, about the community cupboard on Forest Avenue, and I'm not sure if you guys know about this. We shared a few things about it. Um, it's ran by a local person. I believe her name is Tanya, and since she and we have posted photos of the cupboard, and to give you an explanation of what this is, it's a blue cupboard that's facing the street on Forest Avenue, and the address is 20330. And I'm going to share the address because the community cupboard has a Facebook page, which is cool, and the address is on the Facebook page. So it's cans of food. There's peanut butter there. There's potatoes. There's some fruits. There's some vegetables. Sometimes there's bread. There's cereal. All sorts of good stuff. But we received a message from Tanya in regards to something that she is doing that will enhance the cupboard and the services it provides to the community. She worked out something with a deal, an agreement with a local restaurant food distributor. Let me try that again. A local distributor who works with restaurants to provide free refrigerated food products to the community, in addition to the dry foods and the dry goods that are already in the cupboard. And the call went out for a refrigerator, and within 3 hours, somebody commented that they had one that they would like to donate. And it's just, you guys are awesome. There were actually a couple comments that there were a couple leads on a refrigerator for the cupboard. So it's just our community is just amazing, and it's I know Tanya wanted to. She had mentioned that she was amazed, and she wanted to pass along her gratitude to you guys, and also to us for sharing it. And it's amazing. I mean, if and also right there, if you have canned goods, things in your own pantry or cupboard that you're looking to get rid of, check them out at the. You can bring them down there to, and again, I'll give you the address one more time. Let me hang on. I put in the, I moved it someplace else on my desktop here. 20330 Forest Avenue. Um, when they'll have a refrigerator, they'll be able to accept donations of perishable items as well, which is great, which is cool. Especially now, and I'm like a broken record here in this in the shelter in place. There are more and more people who are in need. We definitely try to keep on top of sharing all of the information in regards to the food pantries and the free food giveaways that are happening in town. I think it's every other Saturday. Three Cross Church has their food pantry, and it's drive up, and a lot of the schools are doing those as well. A couple questions, and Kimberly asks every week. Thank you, Kimberly, for asking, when is the bowling alley going to open? I have no idea. I do have a dialogue going on with the owner, and as soon as that happens, they mentioned that they would let us know. I think the uh, the shelter in place is definitely not permitting bowling alleys to open, but as soon as we hear something about that, we will let you know. And yes, we will have a new magazine coming out in a week, 2 weeks maybe. We'll let you know as soon as that happens, and we got a call. Castro Valley News.
Hey, Bob, how are you doing?
Hey, how are you, sir?
Good. This is Bob calling again.
That's right. How you doing, Bob?
Good. So I had something I thought might be interesting to share if you've got a minute. I don't know if you had a guest coming on today or not.
No guest.
Okay. So I am a firm believer that if something is too good to be true, it probably is. But there was an article, I think 3 weeks ago in the forum, that talked about a program through the East Bay Regional Utility, who is the alternate electrical supplier to PG&E, and that they have a program where you can get a grant that if you go solar, you can get a Tesla wall.
Really?
And the advantage of the Tesla wall is, which are pretty expensive, is that they store power from your solar. So if you have a power outage, like we do in the fall sometimes, it can still run the power in your house. And I live on a house with pretty good southern exposure, but it's a relatively small house, and solar never really made a whole lot of sense to me. But I went to the web address that was in the forum article, and they go through a particular solar company, and I was contacted by them, and because I have I qualify for this program for a number of reasons. And number one is my house on Lawrence Drive is in a Zone 2 fire area.
Okay.
4 is the worst, 3, 2. So but that's most of Upper Castro Valley. You had to have 2 power outages for their emergency power, whatever they call it, when there was wind and they took power off. We had 2 last year, and as a result, I qualify for the through PG&E and the utility that they'll pay for the power walls. And the solar, we're working with this company, and it's ended up going to be, in my situation, it's going to be a lease, and they maintain it, and rather than paying 24 cents for a kilowatt hour, it's 17 cents. And just a lot of contracts and stuff like that, and that's what I was a little concerned about. But it looks to be legitimate. I just got my paperwork from PG&E that we had filed that I'm on the list. And so basically, it's not going to cost me anything out of pocket. I'm going to get solar. I'm going to get a power wall that will run my house for a week if the power goes out. And
That's
it's
great.
available to most people in Castro Valley. The article had the website, which I'm trying to remember exactly what their, I think revision was. The hashtag was it's East Bay Community Power, I think. I don't know. You probably know it. But you know, I'm waiting to see when the whole thing's actually put up and the thing works. I will believe it, but it just was a really good program. I found it out through the forum, and I just thought I would tell you when I'm in process, and I'll keep you updated on what's going on and see if it's actually as good as it seems to be. Because, like I said, to get all this and not have to pay anything.
That's great. I
was concerned.
Yeah.
I read all the paperwork. I read the contracts. They worked through the state. You had to sign a whole list of papers that you read everything with all the warnings of what it could be and what it isn't and what it is and all this kind of stuff. But we'll see what happens. And I just thought, I've told people if they go back to the forum, that would have been 3 or 4 weeks ago. It was, I think, a second-page article.
Okay.
And they had a picture of it. And it's something that I thought people might want to be aware of.
East Bay Community Energy?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
East Bay Community Energy.
Gosh, I wish everyone could go solar.
Well, yeah, I've thought about it because it's not a bad thing to do. But like I said, I have a relatively small house and we have a relatively small electrical bill. So for a payback and like that, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. Where we were concerned is having, we were without power over the last year. We had 3 outages. One was, 2 were the PG&E shutoffs, and one, a big tree fell down on Almond and Lawrence Drive, and we were without power.
I remember that.
For a couple days, and then another time a couple days. And we're senior citizens. I have a CPAP, so, it's not very comfortable or healthy to sleep without it. And I was looking at possibly getting a generator, but then you've got either propane or gas, and that's where your neighbors are, and where would you put it, and all this kind of thing. Because these Tesla walls are relatively compact, they're only like 6 inches deep, and they will go on a wall in my garage. And then at the end of the year, there's actually, if I generate excess electricity, which they try to size it to what your actual needs are, but if I do generate it, there is
you get a credit or a buyback?
You get an adjustment with PG&E where they will give you credits or you pay them more depending on which way it goes. And it's all part of that, but it's a really good program, and they said that they were going to do 1,000 homes in their service area. So if people are interested, if they go to the website for the utility, they can find that. It might be something interesting to look at. Like I'm not recommending it yet because, like I said, it really seems too good to be true. But but so far it's looking really good.
Cautiously optimistic, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I have a friend who lives up over Upper Redwood, and he's completely solar, and he will never go back.
Well, if you drive around up here, it's amazing that I see more solar going in every day.
Yeah.
It's really and there are a lot of financial incentives. I just happen to hit the sweet spot.
That's great.
People who live, we complained last year because Upper Castro Valley was dark twice in those shutoffs.
Yeah.
And our friends who were down the other side of Seven Hills Road had power, and you're going, well, one of the reasons I qualify is that they hit us twice. If they hit us once, I might not have qualified. So, thank you.
Yeah.
But it's something to look at.
And
I thought people might be interested to hear it.
Definitely. And the situation with I think it's the PPEs that they were doing.
Yes.
It's just going to continue because unfortunately it doesn't appear that PG&E is improving or making the upgrades to their infrastructure. So as soon as the wind comes back again, and they have to do what they have to do, it's probably going to happen again.
Well, it was interesting because when they were doing the rolling shutoffs a couple weeks ago because of the heat,
mm-hmm.
and I went to them and went to their. I think I told you this on my website where I went to their website and found my address, and I was in Block 50.
Yeah.
And Block 50 doesn't get power shut off, which I suspect is because we might be on the same circuit as Eden. But,
yes.
It still makes me nervous. I mean, my wife and I were both kind of amazed during the shutoffs last year. How many times do you walk into a room when you're holding a flashlight and then hit the light switch and the lights don't come on, You go, we know it's not going to work, but
we still do it.
You got to do it.
We still do it, yeah. Oh, man. When the lightning was happening, what was that, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
The last hit, the power went off here. And
right. It hit a transformer over by Stanton School, I think.
Yeah. And I did that exactly what you said. Every time I would go into the bathroom, I hit the switch, and I'm thinking.
See, I'm a native Midwesterner. We just got up at 4 a.m. and sat on our porch and watched the lightning. We thought, boy, this is a really good show, without thinking what it was going to do as far as the fires are concerned. But
exactly.
But the losing power just was, put it this way, aggravating for us. And
yeah.
So getting the battery backup was the thing that made me go. But we'll see. They said it would take about 4 weeks for PG&E paperwork to be processed. I got a letter from them saying that I'm in the queue, and if they have any questions, they'll let me know. And when it's done, I'll give you another report.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. It's good talking to you. Keep up the good work.
Good talking to you too, Bob. Thank you for the call.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Yeah, I really wish this building here. I wish more buildings were solar. Just, I mean, the advantage of not having to be on the grid is amazing. Like I said, my friend is Upper Redwood, and he ends up doing. I think PG&E gives them some money back and all that. Got another call. Castro Valley News Live.
Hello, it's Ashley.
Hey, Ashley, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good.
Good. I'm listening to your live.
Cool.
Yeah. So I thought I'd just call and say hello.
Well, thanks for calling.
Yeah.
What's
everybody's doing good?
As good as can be expected. At least things aren't getting weirder. It's kind of we've hit a plateau of weirdness.
Well, now that you said that, now it's just all going to unravel.
I hope not.
It's only the first day of the month. Let's see what September has in store for us.
I hope more mentions and advances on a vaccine.
Yes, yes, that would be good. That would be good. I like this podcast that you're doing. This is a lot of fun.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And shout out to Don at One Bad Apple. What's up, Don?
I haven't seen his comments, but he's Don's an awesome guy. I love Don. I've known Don for forever. I've known Don since I worked at the Castro Valley Library a million years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Which is another topic that is on some people's minds is that old building, that building.
I know. You know, it's the community spoke and the MAC listened, and you know,
and the MAC spoke too. The MAC
Yes,
the MAC
and they
wants
agreed with the community.
Yes, the MAC wants the community to keep that building, and I am definitely partial because I worked in that building for a lot of years. So
right.
I love that building.
So now it's my turn to ask you some questions.
Okay.
What was your favorite part of that building? Because you told me that it was haunted. So
wacky
tell me
stuff.
A little bit more about that building.
Wacky stuff would happen. Weird noises would happen, and I remember specifically because we were lucky enough to have a supervisor who would let us work after hours. I specifically remember a toilet flushing by itself, and it wasn't some of those.
No.
Yeah, some of those toilets that have like the motion things. Those will flush by themselves. These are the old school big.
The handle.
Yeah. So yeah. Nothing malicious or mean, but I love the smell of that building.
I was just gonna say, I bet you love the smell.
It has a specific smell. It has a very distinct smell. I just a lot of good memories in that building, and that building it's just cool the way it's laid out. The way it's got one.
What is your favorite architectural feature on that building?
Everything. It's just
everything.
It feels like walking into a time warp. It feels like the 60s.
Totally.
The fact that it's all wood on the walls.
I wasn't alive in the 60s, but
yeah, neither was I, but I think that's when it was built. But I think it was just built to last. I do remember one year it was just raining cats and dogs. And you know those two wacky peaks that are on the roof?
Yes.
They're probably 100% asbestos or whatever. I don't know. Well, I mean, unfortunately, a lot of that building is asbestos, but I mean, it can be encapsulated and not messed with, or if they want to go more expensive, it can be removed, but that's really expensive. One of those peaks, it was just leaking, and it looked like a fire hose coming from the roof to the floor.
No.
Yeah, and when it was right over the reference desk where the librarian was sitting.
Oh, jeez.
And she casually went outside, got a plastic trash can, and just put it right under it. And she didn't miss a beat. She went right back to answering questions from patrons. But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I love that building.
That place.
I love that building.
My grandma used to bring me down there, and gosh, I just spent hours in the little kids' corner over there.
Mm-hmm.
It was the best.
Yeah, love that building. Love that building. The staff there was just fantastic. It was like a little family, and all the patrons that came in were friends, and yeah, it's just a great building. And I hope the powers that be can find some sort of agreement with I know the veterans really want it.
Yeah, and they deserve it.
They do, totally.
They absolutely deserve it. They need a space to display things and what they want to do with it. Having it as a community venue, I mean, goodness, we need it.
Yeah, it would be, I think what they were thinking of was a veterans library and, like you said, a
Yep.
community center. Um, they're open to
They even talked about Randy Vanderbilt putting up his pop-up museum
yes, please.
to be on the wall.
Yes, please.
Mhm.
And we can have Lucille Lorge there frequently.
Oh, yes.
I had the pleasure of sending an email and just sending an email and hearing back from Lucille. Just it's warm and fuzzy because she's such an awesome person.
Agreed. Agreed.
It would be great to have Lucille there doing some of her talks because she knows everything about Castro Valley. It's really high time that we have even if it's a small little corner thing that we have our own museum because there are so many people who have so much stuff.
Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. I mean, you think about all the things that Lucille and Randy and Brian Morrison have. And, you know, the rodeo turned 100, all that kind of stuff. I mean, we have so much history that, you know, if we had a place to display it, people would know more about the area, you know?
Yeah. And there's a lot to know
see how
here.
much we've grown.
Yeah, there's so much to know about this town that I don't think too many people know about. Like all the all the bootleggers that were here, and
Yes.
580 Marketplace was a gigantic speakeasy called
I didn't know that.
It was called the Pergola. That area used to be called Pergola Hill, and I only know this because Bruno Booty was kind enough to talk to me and do an interview with me way back when I was with the Forum. And there was actually a turret at the top of the pergola where a gunner would sit and watch and make sure that Al Capone's guys weren't coming from San Francisco to rob the bootlegger.
No.
Yeah, to rob the bootleggers here in Castro Valley. So there's so much history here in Castro Valley that is just right at our fingertips. But
yeah, we even there's still an old, what are they called, Bordeaux that the ladies of the night would work in, and their living quarters are still intact above a business right over in the Moose Lodge neighborhood.
The bar there, right?
Yep.
Yep. That is confirmed. Bruno
Bordello?
Yeah, it was a Bruno used a less delicate term for it, but we can go with yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah. So yes, the last thing I think I heard from Bob Swanson was there's supposedly some sort of meeting being organized on the old library building.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as that happens, I mean, there's tons of signatures that the veterans got at the Fall Festival and around town and online. It's obvious Castro Valley wants that building. I guess.
Well, and even more so, you know, from what I understand, the actual residents of Castro Valley built that place. You know, this wasn't a county-funded building. This was something that was paid for by the residents of Castro Valley.
Yep.
And for it to now be in the county surplus, it's like, hello, why can't we have our building back?
Yeah.
We literally paid for it.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, I didn't, but
no, Castro Valley did.
My grandparents did.
Yep, they did. Yeah.
Yes.
So hopefully the kind people at GSA, that's General Services Agency with the county, will find it in their hearts to work with the veterans, and even Nate Miley has expressed his support for Veterans Community Center library there. So hopefully we can all go and
the MAC agreed too.
Yes.
You know, MAC
unanimously
were volunteering their own time.
Unanimously,
to make renovations and to see this project through. So Maybe we might have to go and like chain ourselves to the building.
Fingers.
We'll participate in that.
Yeah. We could protest. Occupy the library.
Yes. Occupy the library. Yes. Count me in for that.
not to detract anything from the new library, because the new building is beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's state of the art. Their staff is fantastic.
Yep.
Whenever I call down there or have a question, they're always super helpful. And no discount to our beautiful new library.
Yep.
But we love our old library too.
Yeah, I miss going to the library.
You know, so many people do. That is, I probably get, 4 calls a week at the office that's, when's the library going to open? And I think people also don't realize how many people depend on the library.
Yeah.
You know, I have senior citizens that call and they're like, I don't have a computer and I need to print out, whatever document they need, and they normally go to the library to do that. And now they can't. You know, the senior center's closed, so they're like, well, where do I do this? And, the chamber, we're still close to the public, and I'm working from home, and it's normally I would be like, come on over here, but I don't think people want to come to the house. So. But it's like people depend on it for those things, for social. The library has different clubs and reading book clubs and all kinds of things, and it's really, really missed, and I have the phone calls to prove it.
Yep. And for people who may not know, Ashley is the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce. Yep. Yeah, I miss the library a lot. People looking for jobs, people, doing genealogy research. They have computer labs.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I like the display booth right there when you walk in to the left side.
Yep.
Every month it would change out. A new club would put stuff in there. That's one of my, and you can't leave out the art, right? The art in that place is just beautiful.
Yep. And talking about solar, they're solar too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah. They just need a cafe vendor when they finally open.
That would be great.
Snack shack.
Yeah.
Going, because man, how many times have we been in a meeting there that it would have been nice to have a snack?
Yeah, exactly. And another fantastic thing that library has is the Friends of the Library bookstore.
Yes.
Money well spent.
That is a great deal.
Yep. It's amazing the stuff. And going back to when I worked at the library on Redwood Road, it would be amazing the stuff that people would donate. Like books that just came out, people would donate.
What else are they going to do with them? Are they going to reread them?
I don't know.
Probably not. I don't.
Yeah. But
I don't.
We need a vaccine so that, we can...
We need to get back to normal safely.
Yeah.
But it's tough on people. And me and Dawn from One Bad Apple were messaging back and forth in the comments. And, this whole thing can really get people down. And, I mean, it hit me. You go from, the last 7 years of my life. Can you believe I've been at the Chamber? October will be 7 years. Isn't that crazy? Remember when I told you I had an interview?
Yeah, I remember that. It's been 7 years?
Yeah, 7
that's
years.
Ridiculous. Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Time sure does fly.
But, for the last 7 years of my life, it has been, bringing business and the community together, and monthly mixers and the fall festival and Student Citizen of the Year and Castro Valley Street. In 2019 or 2018, we did 74 community events. So to go from all that people interaction to
nothing,
pretty much nothing, right? Because I live alone, it's just me and my dog, and to have like people contact once a week, it's very, very sad.
Yeah.
So I'm hanging hang in there. We can.
It's tough.
We can complain together.
Well, it seems like now more than ever, especially with how some people's disposition is, we just need more and more kindness.
Yes, we need more humanity.
Yep.
We like smile at somebody when you're driving, like when you're at the stoplight. Just that's really
yeah.
Yes, we need kindness.
We need lots of kindness. I think some of it is that everyone hopefully is wearing masks and we can't see each other smile, but we can see the eyes scrunch and the cheeks raise, but it's still not the same as seeing a smile or, gosh, going to coffee with a friend that you haven't seen for a while, you know.
Right. Even or hugs. Remember hugs?
Yeah.
I only get hugs from my mom now.
I haven't hugged my mom in I don't know how long because I don't know if I got it and I don't want to give it to her. But we visit. I'm at the bottom of the stairs and she's at the top of the stairs where she's at, and it's not the same, but at least, you know, and it's just tough. It's so tough for so many people, for all these businesses that have been closed for all this time. I don't know how they are continuing on, and you know, the thing with the restaurants, they're open, then they can't be open, then they can be open, and all the salons and that, you know. Well, your aunt owns a salon, so you're right in the middle of it.
Right. It is. I mean, to speak a little bit about, you know, the personal service industry, I am just appalled by the way that, you know, those state licensed professionals, because you got to remember, you know, a hairdresser, and I think a barber, I think they put in the same amount of hours. There's 1,600 state clocked hours that you spend in school, and then you go and take a test administered by the state, and it's all just about sanitation, right? They don't care if you actually know how to cut hair or not. It's how you do it in a clean, sanitized environment. And, you know, the fact that our salons have been closed since March 17th is just crazy. We're talking about an industry of state licensed professionals. You know, how many checkers at Safeway go through 1,600 hours of sanitation? And I'm not taking anything away from Safeway. They create local jobs. People like working there. I'm not discounting anything, but you know, to tell this licensed professional that you can't work for now, you know, 7 months, and you know, the only thing you can offer them is go apply for an SBA loan, which unless you have, you know, great credit, you're not going to get approved for. So today, and sorry if I'm sidetracking, you can cut me off and tell me to pipe down, but today, you know, I'm getting pictures text messaged to me of nail salons that are opening outside, and there's one, and I mean, these pictures just break my heart because I won't say where, you know, these salons are, but you have a nail technician, a state licensed nail technician, doing a pedicure on the sidewalk, and that is not more sanitary than a controlled environment inside. You know, appointment only, no double booking, face masks, put the plexiglass up, you know, at the stations. But the fact that they're literally working on the sidewalk and there's bird poop because it's outside, like, how is that more sanitary? It's crazy. It is crazy.
Is there a place actually doing it on the sidewalk? They're not using a tent?
No. Well, some of them are out under an overhang.
Okay. Oh.
So, So I've seen a few different, you know, scenarios. There's the pop-up tent. There's on the sidewalk or under the overhang. You know, and then people are trying to figure out, okay, well, should I go to a canopy company, you know, like Mel Speed, and rent a tent? Because, you know, Mel did the setup for Don Jose's in the Village.
Oh, yeah.
I think that looks beautiful. I freaking love that. So people are calling Mel, and they're like, hey, like, I need to get a canopy, and I need to, you know, do this and that. And you talk about another added cost to these poor businesses.
Yeah.
Right? You think about they have to pay the rent on their place, right? And some people call me and they're like, hey, so I'm $70,000 behind in my rent. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm freaking out.
Yeah. Because we're 6 months into this, right?
Yes. And they have to pay their rent, and now to go and rent stuff to work outside, which you can only cut hair. You know, the money's in the color services, right? For a hair salon, barbers are different, but it's just appalling to me that an industry full of state licensed professionals is being treated this way. It's insane to me. Insane.
Yeah, it's
I could go on for hours.
Yeah, it's tough because we want to be safe, and we want to follow the direction, but I think a lot of us, a lot is unknown, and that's the main thing that's really scary to a lot of people, myself included, is just a lot of what we're going through is really unknown.
Sure.
So.
Sure. But everybody wants to be safe. You know, these professionals, they don't want to get sick. They don't want to bring it home to their kids. They don't, so when you cut a salon's business in half by not being able to double book, you're talking about one technician, let's say they work 10 hours a day, which is crazy, but they're going to see 8 to 9 haircuts in that time, as opposed to, probably 12 to 15 if they're working in, colors. So the risk is, in my mind, and in this industry's mind, is pretty minimal, as opposed to a grocery store with a checker that is touching thousands of items, going to hundreds of households, or like my Instacart driver. They don't take a lesson in sanitation.
Yeah.
I love my Instacart. I've been in a grocery store in like 4 months. Except the new marketplace. I can't stay away from the bakery. That place is amazing.
The bakery is very popular and very good. Yeah.
Have you had anything from the bakery yet?
No, but
you are not living.
I hear tons of good stuff. The morning roll, I think it is.
Yes, the morning bun.
The morning bun,
morning bun.
Yeah. Going back to talking about hair salons, and I follow Taylor on Instagram.
Yes.
And I was trying to get her as a guest on the show here, but she's busy and but it's interesting. I love her too. It's interesting to hear some. I wanted her to get, because she's so smart and she knows this stuff. Like there's, especially when I think it was the state was mentioning some of the things that the outdoor situation would be like. It's like you can't do hair coloring outside, so what's the point of even opening outside?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So if
I had that conversation today because my Aunt Katie owns NBS Looks, and it's she's been there for 32 years, and my question is, well, let's look at the math. I mean, is your 5 to 6 haircuts going to pay for all the things that you're going to need to open up outside? Which, with the way this is going, we could hear something this week, because Contra Costa County is open now indoors. We could, we may only be a couple days away, fingers crossed. So is it worth the money? I don't think so. And I think it's a slap in the face to the industry to work outside. I do not encourage it, but people need to make money.
Yeah.
And I had to go all the way to Oklahoma for a pedicure last month. So
you had to go to Oklahoma?
I did. In July I took some vacation time, modified vacation, because I'm a staff of 1 now, and I went to Oklahoma to visit my family. And the first stop was Cracker Barrel, and then the second stop was the nail salon, and it was great. And I ate inside of a restaurant, Robert.
Oh wow!
Ate inside of a restaurant. I didn't do that since March. Are you kidding? Yep. I got a massage. I even went to a rodeo. Mm-hmm.
They're doing rodeos outside there? Wow.
Yeah. I was living my best life in Oklahoma.
It was like going back in time.
Yep.
We'll get there again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
I certainly hope so.
We will. We will.
I miss people.
I do
I
too.
miss activities.
Yep.
Who was I talking to the other day, and they're like, I miss going to the movies.
Right?
I'm like, yeah, but I am enjoying those theater free Saturday night movies.
Those are fun.
I'm loving that.
Those are fun.
I love that.
Yep.
Yep. So, all right. Well, I just wanted to call and say hello.
Well, thank you. It was a pleasant surprise.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm sitting here still working, getting some things done, and the notification popped up that Castro Valley News is live, and then the people calling in, I was like, oh, I can call in. I can say hello.
Absolutely.
So.
Feel free to call anytime you like. You've got my number.
Yes. Yes, totes. So, all right. Well, it's free for the next caller.
Cool. Thanks, Ashley. Take care.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And again, that was Ashley Strasberg, who is the executive director of the Castro Valley Chamber of Commerce. And with that said, we have gone over an hour, and I want to thank Bob for calling in. I'd like to thank Ashley for calling in. The final thought here is definitely be kind to yourself, be kind to your neighbor, be good to yourself, be good to your neighbor. Definitely check in on each other, make sure you and your neighbors are okay, and particularly our elderly, our seniors. If you have a neighbor who's a senior, check in on them, make sure they're doing okay. If you can, run an errand for them, let them know that they are cared about. And with all that said, thanks again, Bob, for calling in. Thank you again, Ashley, for calling in. We do this every Tuesday at 7 p.m. We will have a guest next week, and I think it'll be fun. This person is someone locally that people know who they are, and I think we'll have a blast talking about Castro Valley and local things. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in and listening. We will see you, well, we won't see you. You'll hear us, and we'll hear you, hopefully, next Tuesday, 7 p.m. for the Castro Valley News live show. And as always, when the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. Thanks again, everyone. Take care.